Good evening. Welcome to the Everett School Committee of Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Student Representative Riley Avalar.
Present.
Mr. Barros. Ms. Cardello.
Present.
Ms. Cristiano.
Present.
Mayor DiMaria. Ms. Lambert.
Present.
Mr. LaMonica. Mr. Marcus.
Here.
Mr. McLaughlin. Ms. Sarni.
Present.
Chairman Mangan.
Present.
6 members present, Mr. Chairman.
6 members present. We do have a quorum. Everyone, please join me in saluting the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Superintendent, please read the first item.
Roman numeral 3 is the reading of the records from June 5th, 2023.
Make a motion to waive the reading, place on file. Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Sani, seconded by Ms. Cardello, to waive the reading of the records for June 5th, 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
I'd like to make a motion to waive and take item off the calendar, number 7, item number 3.
Do we have a second? We have a motion by Ms. Sani, second by Ms. Cardello, to waive the rules and take item Roman numeral 7, item number 3 off the calendar. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
No.
The ayes have it. Madam Superintendent, members of the school committee, I speak before. Oh, I'm sorry, Madam Superintendent, I apologize.
Roman numeral 7, items submitted by school committee members. Item number 3 is response to a communication submitted to the school committee by Paula Sterite, and this was submitted by Chair Mangan.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Appreciate that. As you know, 2 weeks ago, we voted. It was a tough vote. We decided to move on and start the bidding process for a new superintendent. It was very contentious, very heated, I understand. The next day, which I expected anyways, you get, some comments from people, texts and emails and stuff, and, that's par for the course. Whichever way we take a vote, any one of us at any time, we're subject to that. We're public figures, and it's something that expected, and if you can't take that heat, you stay out of the kitchen. That's the way I look at it. But something very, very disturbing was sent to me from Ms. Sterite, who proposes to be a person who cares for the students here at Everett High School and cares about their well-being. I never thought anything different until I received this email from Ms. Sterite, which I'm going to read to you, which is very disturbing.
A point of privilege, or a point of order, actually. This is pertaining to a personal communication or a public record?
A public. It was sent to my CD email.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, Mike. And this was a response to, this was an email that I received at 7:03 in the morning when I went into work the very next day. Hi, Mike. To be honest, I figured at some point your true colors will come out. At this point, even your vote for Priya is questionable to me and others as a safe vote, knowing it would fail. You and the mayor and your buddies may think you pulled a fast one, but let me just say, last night, you and your crew poured gasoline on an open flame. If the DOJ or IG doesn't come in and shut this organization down, no doubt the voters will not forget. As I have said on many occasions, your actions will have consequences. They will cost Everett dearly, and hopefully when your taxes go up to cover your legal costs, people will see you not as Mr. Nice Guy, but Mr. Coward. Do you think the people are that stupid? My money is on Omar Easy, as Millie was pushing to have an Everett person apply. We will be watching every dollar give away to you and to any relative connected to you. And here's where the other stuff that Ms. Sterite said, I have no problem with. I have taken no issue with it. But after that, she continued on. I know you have relatives using Pope John. Don't worry, that won't go unnoticed, nor will any grants given out. I replied to Ms. Sterite, good morning, Paula. I'm very disappointed in you. To say the stuff you've just said is very sad. You have no clue what is going on behind the scenes. Some people put on a good face in public, but are very vicious when no one is watching. As they told Sandy Giuliano, which they did in a text a little while ago, there were several things that we could not talk about at the advice of our attorney. I have no problem looking in the mirror, Paula, do you? And then Paula responded, Mike, I don't. I've never worked or asked anything in the city but to do their job, not retaliate, harassment, or threaten people. I have no connection to anyone or anything. So yes, I have no problem looking in the mirror or looking at anyone because people know me or strangers know there is nothing in it for me. I have spent a year and a half attending meetings and talking to total strangers. All I can say is the people in Everett deserve better. And I go back to my daughter, or my child, Kay, who identifies as queer, okay, as you all know, opened up the center in Pope John, what was desperately needed 3 years ago. In 2020, the Mayor Di Maria graciously gave him space at the Pope John School. Since then, we had the first Pride Day flag raising. It was a great day. Since then, the last 2 years, the superintendent and his staff have done an amazing job, not only last year and then this year, expanding that day and making it a very special day. I've attended all three and been honored to do so. So people that don't know about the center at Pope John and what it's about, I want to read to you in the public, because you may not know. It's called ELISOC, and it's Everett's first LGBTQ plus resource center. During the summer of 2020, my child, Kay Mangan, had just moved back to Everett. It was the beginning of the pandemic, and she was reflecting on her high school experience of being in the closet. When I came back to Everett after graduating, I felt eyes on me now that I was visibly queer. Kay, my daughter, who uses the they, them pronouns, could not recollect a single instance when the city of Everett acknowledged LGBTQ anything. Kay grew up very aware of Everett's priorities and knew that LGBTQ plus rights and protections were not on the city's radar. Realizing there was a lack of resources in Everett, and what pushed Kay to make a change, so they joined forces with a good friend, Dom Washington, who has an extensive background in community organizing, to propose ELISOC to the city. Kay and Dom sent a proposal for the youth center to the city, which included details like utilizing unoccupied space in a former Catholic school building. After months of waiting, the city reached out to tell them they had the space, and they opened their doors on June 1st, 2021, not 2020. Since they got that call, Dom explained that the ball moved quickly, which felt surreal, exciting, and overwhelming. ELISOC stands for Everett LGBTQ plus Youth Space and Resource Center, and is for queer youth to have a space to hang out and be themselves. They offer gender-affirming products and resources, as well as provide connections to resources with STI testing, food, and healthcare in this space at the old Pope John High School. ELISOC has also had vocational and volunteer opportunities for LGBTQ plus youth, as they currently had an intern helping them out for college credits. They've also in the past hired LGBTQ youth artists to paint murals down there. The organization has joined forces with Everett Public Schools to assess the needs of LGBTQ plus students and to create professional development opportunities and resources. ELISOC has faced some backlash from a small hand of locals, as heightened visibility can lead to more outward hate. However, for Dom and Kay, the Everett Public School System has been truly supportive of the organization in the face of hate. And I go back to what Ms. Sterite said. Because I voted a certain way, which I'm entitled to, okay, that's fine. She can take issue with me because I voted for the superintendent a certain way. but threaten my children or one of my kids, unacceptable. Mr. Popolo, I'm sure you don't like it. I'm sure you're getting a kick out of this. You know?
You shouldn't be taking it personally.
Have some respect. I'm talking.
You called on me, Mike. You called my name.
I know you have relatives using Pope John. Is that not a threat?
No.
Don't worry, it won't go unnoticed. When you have a chance to speak, you'll speak. When you have a chance to speak, Mr. Reedy, you'll speak. I'm speaking. Don't worry, that will not go unnoticed, nor will any grants given out. Okay? This center serves LGBTQ plus children of Everett. Okay? Well,
The organization is the leverage the mayor has on people that vote in the city.
what grants? What grants? The mayor does not give out grants. Senator DiDomenico gets most of the grants for the center. The superintendent provides resources to work with them.
And the city
And
gives out money.
because I took a vote a certain way, you're going to use that against me.
No, I basically said, can I come up and talk now?
When it's public participation, you absolutely will have your time.
Okay.
But it's a travesty when someone says, like, an email to you, okay, and does that, and attacks going after, knowing that I have a relative there, okay? She could have said to me, I'm going to get the voters to go after you or whatever, or come out and force to knock you out. I have no problem with that. Even what she read at the meeting last week, the council, I have no problem with that either. That's fair game. But to go after somebody's family member and threaten that you're going to try to go and get grants cut for an LGBTQ plus center, like I said, is disgraceful.
That's not what I said.
It's right here in the email, and I'll make a copy for everybody that wants to see it.
No.
All right?
Well, you left out an important part.
Yeah, I read the whole email.
No, you didn't. You
Yes, I
left
did.
out
I have the
a
email.
very key point.
I have the email right here.
I have the email here. You want me
All right.
to tell you what you left out?
Yeah. So,
No, let me tell you what you left out.
when it's your time,
No, you're misquoting what I said.
I am not misquoting, I got the email.
I said I was really hoping you would be sincere, but my original feeling that city workers should not be elected officials was right on point.
Correct.
That's the point. That's the point, because as you're an elected official, he has leverage on every vote you take.
So what is my child, Mr. Reed, what is my child have to do with it?
Point of order. This is out of order, and I do
I
suggest we close
apologize.
debate.
You're right, you're absolutely right, I apologize. So I just want everybody to know that the person that's up there that pretends to be, cares and doesn't want to retaliate, that says in an email about retaliation, this certainly looks like retaliation to me.
Say it's a check to grants, you see
know.
where people money's going?
I have a family member. What does that have to do with?
I'll
me
make a
being
motion to
here?
open
Again,
public comment.
I apologize. So I said what I had to say, and I would ask this council, this school committee, to refer this to the superintendent, the mayor, because he provides a space, superintendent provides plenty of resources for Pope John and the LESOC, to our state delegation, as well as the governor's office, to make sure that no funding, whether I voted in a certain way or not, that no funding is cut from the LESOC community here in Everett at Pope John. So I make that in the form of a motion.
So moved.
Yeah.
We have a motion by Ms. Sani and seconded by Ms. Cardello to send it to the following agencies I just said. All those in favor?
On the motion?
All, Ms. Sani, Ms. Lambert.
And I just want to point out, this is outside of our purview.
No, it is not.
How is, we have no power to.
No, we don't.
Who's
It's, all it
funding.
is, it's just a resolution, Ms. Lambert. It's just asking them.
There's
That's
no
all.
resolution in front
It's
of me.
not a-
So I just want to explain that if I vote no, it's only because there's not a resolution in front of me, and it's,
Oh, well, I just put it forward to you, to we forward this, that they asked to not cut any funding, Ms. Lambert.
but there's, so my point is, if we're forwarding an email to the state delegation and the governor and asking that no funding, because I don't want funding
I
cut.
I didn't say that the email was being forwarded. I asked that.
But that's what I'm asking. And so, and I apologize,
No,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
trying to clarify. because I want to vote the right way.
Correct.
I have fully supported LESARC.
Absolutely.
I have fully supported Everett Public Schools and have even, if we had the space here, I would hope they could have a permanent home within our building with our students.
I agree.
So I just want to clarify that that's not what this is about, but I don't understand. I don't have the wording of a resolution in front of me to say what to just say we,
I am
as a school
asking that
committee,
the
ask
school
that no
committee
funding, we have no authority
Ask
over
that
funding.
No funding, because we do have the senator here. The senators, in the last few years, as part of the budget, has provided significant funding as one of the resources, okay?
But my question is, what authority do we as a body have to...
We don't have any authority. We have the right
question.
to ask them not to. That's all we're doing. But not to cut any funding or any grants they're going to potentially go to LESAC. That's all I'm asking.
I'm just uncomfortable with the word.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, if I just may ask also too, last year... One second, Ms. Sani. Last year, just around this time last year, we had a resolution that was sponsored by Ms. Lambert, and it was Mr. Barros, Ms. Cristiano, and I were the 4 members. And it was a resolution for the protection of transgender students and their families. And this is part of it, Mrs. Lambert, is asking that nothing be cut at LESAC, any resources, anything that goes there, any grants or anything else, or the superintendent not take away any resources that she is gratefully dedicated to that organization. And that's all I'm asking for. It's just in the form of a resolution. There's nothing binding. There's nothing that says they can take it and throw it in the garbage if they want.
I'm just saying, I put forward the wording of the resolution in front of everyone so they could read it, and I'm just uncomfortable voting on something I don't have the language of.
Okay, that's fine, Ms. Lambert.
I just want to explain, because this is a sensitive topic, and it is one that I want our students, most especially, more than anybody else in this city, but our students to understand that I have done everything I can to support them, whether it be in the form of the resolution or supporting funding or supporting resources through our budget. But I don't have the wording, so I just want to explain why, if I vote no, the reason why. And it's because I don't have the language in front of me.
That's fine, Ms. Lambert.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Ms. Sani.
I'd like to make a form of a resolution, wording the way he presented, that all it is a communication asking not to cut funds. A simple resolution, that's all it is. So if you want to do that, make it a
That's fine.
resolution.
That's
I'll
fine.
second it if we can turn that into a resolution.
Okay.
And you can read it again so that we have the wording
A
correctly.
resolution that the city, the Everett School Committee asked that the superintendent of schools, our mayor, our state delegation, and the governor not cut any funding at all in the form of grants or any other funding that the LESAC Center gets at Pope John. That's in the form of a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Ms. Sani, seconded by Ms. Cardello. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
Roll
The
call
ayes.
vote, Mr. Mangan.
Roll call vote,
Please.
Mr. O'Connor.
Thank
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Abstain.
You can't abstain and be in the thing.
You're not going to have a quorum.
Okay, then we can't move forward with it because she abstained, so the motion fails. We can't take the motion up because we don't have a quorum.
Make a motion to, we can't,
What's that? We can't do anything until she comes back. We do have a quorum again. Since we didn't have a quorum for the last thing, we're going to move on to, because nothing can be done at this moment then, or I'll ask the superintendent to please read the next item on the calendar.
Roman numeral 4 is public comment.
Okay, public comment. We have for the first...
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, before we move on that last piece we were talking about, can we lay that over to our next meeting? Perhaps put it in writing, present it to the committee so that everybody knows what it is, and then we can take another vote on it.
I'll second.
Absolutely. If you
We'll
want to put
second
that
that.
in the form of a motion. We have a motion by Ms. Cardello, seconded by Ms. Sani, to lay it over and put it on a resolution that's on the calendar. All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it. I'm sorry, Madam Superintendent, next item.
Roman numeral 4 is public comment.
Make a motion to open it up for public comment.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Mr. Marcus, to open up public comment. All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it. Ms. Sanchetta.
Good evening. I'm Nancy Sanchetta from Lynn Street in Everett. The end of the school year is always a good time to reflect on what has gone well and consider what can be done to improve for the next school year. EHS is definitely a little safer than it has been in the last couple of years. It looks like we may have gotten a little closer to our pre-pandemic success for our AP courses as well. When teachers, parents, students, and administrators work together, we often make progress. Unfortunately, it looks like we may be moving out of step again. For years, our reasonable achievement in science MCAS, we lost our lead teachers, we were hit with a pandemic, and then we had trouble training and retaining qualified teachers. Under the supervision of our curriculum director, Ann Auger, we implemented a new biology curriculum. Now, we are again being told that we will be following yet another new curriculum. While this new approach is free, and it does appear to have some potential, it is still in the early stages of development. Only one unit is ready for use, and it hasn't been fully piloted. Moreover, our district will need to pay thousands of dollars to train teachers to use this new, free, experimental curriculum. And it's only going to cover a fraction of what's on the MCAS and in the state standards. Without teacher input in the selection of this material, and without fully vetting these materials before adoption, we risk further decline in our MCAS scores. Our teachers and students deserve better than to be a data point in someone else's experiment. We also learned today from some of our K-8 colleagues that science isn't the only place facing mandatory changes. Similar things are happening in math as well. There has been much talk about equity in education. The way many of us understand this term is that students will need to have access to what they need, which includes skills and opportunities to grow and to learn. We support equity. It is a fantastic goal. Equality, however, is understood to mean giving each student exactly the same thing. This can leave some students without the supports they need, while others sit in a class with materials that don't challenge them quite enough. The announced changes in grade 8 involves having all grade 8 students take exactly the same grade 8 math class at exactly the same pace across the entire city. There is no option for algebra. This may be equal, but is it equitable? Should students who mature in math skills earlier or who are just naturally gifted in the subject be denied the opportunity to learn at their own pace? While the idea of leveling the playing field has its appeal, what data do we have that supports this change? Have parents been consulted? And if so, how do they feel? What other like districts have implemented this change? And what are the impacts not just on MCAS, but on the students' ability to take challenging STEM and AP courses, the very courses that are going to help them be successful in college? Changing curriculum without data, input from the teachers, and without a solid plan in place can only further disenfranchise the educators who work so hard to ensure student success. Limiting student growth in any essential field just does not seem equitable. It doesn't seem like we will prepare our students for the high-wage, high-demand jobs our area is so well known for. Equitable education is a goal for our community, and it should involve input from all stakeholders. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchetta. The next person is Sandra Donnelly. Sandra?
I would just like to say on behalf of Priya Telehani, she's great. I approached her 2 weeks ago before graduation to say that we needed to get Nelda O'Neill an award for the Wilson. As of last Friday, I presented it to her. Priya has got back to me every day, and considering graduation, got back to me every day. I was proud to see my daughter achieve her goal to graduate the Wilson, and it was the best feeling in the world. As you will see, Priya's got stuff up there that I have sent to her. My daughter is a Wilson graduate as of last Friday, and I don't see why we are changing superintendents. I like Priya. I have never had a complaint. I'm all for Priya. My daughter is for Priya too. It's just, I just feel that a superintendent that gets back to you every day is a leader that should be on the committee. I don't know how you guys vote, but again, I'm going to say, like, thank you again, Priya, for getting back to me at the time of need that I needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. The next person we have is former school committee member and former chairman of the school committee, Tom Appice. Mr. Appice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Thomas Abruzes. I appreciate the intro, that people hopefully remember me, that I was the former chair, and I was the chairman that chose the search committee to pick our fantastic superintendent with the assistance of the Mass Association of School Committee, Glenn Kuchar, as I'm vehemently opposed to your plan to do a new search. I just hope you realize the undertaking and what's involved in this. It took up a very large portion of my life, and 15 people that were on the search committee's lives. I was the one, it was just me who chose the search committee. I took people from professional and diverse people across the city of Everett. That was my goal. The only person that had any input was just in terms of some advice that I got from Glenn Kuchar, and I am forever grateful to him for that. I'm actually here tonight to rebut some statements that were made at the June 5th school committee meeting. There is a false narrative that has taken place. Now it's gone into years and just will not go away, about who was allowed to apply for the superintendent position. It's very difficult to present all of the facts because much of what was done in executive session to protect the confidentiality of the people who applied for the position of superintendent of the Everett Public Schools. You have to understand there were people that were applying that had jobs in other districts. So to just throw around names of who these people were could have been detrimental to their professional positions that they were in, and for any potential positions down the road. Somehow or other, there literally are people quoting me that I made the statement that Everett Public School employees or people from Everett could not apply for the position. The fact is, I never made any such statements or took any actions to prevent anyone from applying for the position of superintendent of the Everett Public Schools. If you don't believe me, the facts speak for themselves. The one thing I can state is there were 23 applicants for the position. The people came from as far as Florida to as close as Everett. Everett had 5 applicants that either worked in the district or came from the district. 5 out of 23, almost 25% of the people were connected with the Everett Public Schools. I hope this finally puts this ridiculous notion to rest that somehow or other I or some of my colleagues prevented people from Everett to apply for the position. Of course, if your intention is to replace Superintendent Tahiliani with someone who's somehow connected with Everett, and let's say your idea is to say, well, that person really wasn't able to be considered back when, so we're really giving this person his or her first opportunity to apply for the position. That simply is not true. This entire notion is a false narrative that has to stop. One thing I want to point out to you in terms of when you pick your search committee, one of the key items that we used when we got down to our final four was going to visit with past employer and past employees of the candidates. That was where Superintendent Tahiliani rose above it all. In Boston, like me, they considered her a rising star in education, and she still is. You know, I love sports analogies, and I'm wearing this shirt tonight because I'm telling you right now, you allow Superintendent Tahiliani to leave our district, it'll be the equivalent of Bruce Cassidy leaving the Bruins. She'll be holding up the Stanley Cup. Go ahead, laugh, Mr. Mayor, have a good joke, okay? The fact is, we'll be losing a rising star and replacing him with what? Someone who somehow has some connection to Everett. Folks, I know how provincial we are, but there are great things outside of this city. We do not know it all, and sometimes we need someone's outsider's eyes to come in and show us that there's another way and a better way to do things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Approsace. The next person we have is Paula Sterite. Paula.
Good evening. Since the mayor is here, maybe you can ask him to have the city release the school study done by the Mount Vernon Group, or ask the Mount Vernon Group to provide a copy of the report to the school department, as the school department paid $8,000 back in February 2020 for the study. Aren't any of you interested in reading this or wondering why the city and the Mount Vernon Group are treating this as top secret document? Next, I want to raise my concern again as a resident taxpayer for forcing the school department to spend $3 million to rent a building to alleviate overcrowding, not for 1 year, but for many years to come, possibly until a new high school is built. The city owns Pope John. Since 2020, the mayor has allowed a nonprofit and multiple groups and clubs to use Pope John at no cost to them, with the city, or should I say the taxpayers, picking up all the expenses. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts has agencies whose responsibility is to prevent and detect fraud, waste, and abuse of public funds and public property, and promote transparency and efficiency in government. As a taxpayer, I see denying the school department the use of Pope John while allowing others to use Pope John's school at no cost as wasteful in abuse of public funds and public property. And I hope the state does too, or perhaps the Department of Justice. Regarding the vote you took at the last school committee regarding opening a search for the superintendent, even after being warned of the personal liability you're exposing yourselves to, lead me to believe your votes not to extend the superintendent's contract and to open up the search for a superintendent now has nothing to do with education or the well-being of the children of Everett, but about power, control, and money. Regarding item 7, item 2, adding a flagpole to the administrative building. Really? With all the issues and challenges the students and the school department are facing, this is what is on your to-do list? How about just installing the pole and the flag? It's a public building, just do it. Regarding item 3, regarding the response to my email, so I just want to make sure I read the statement that Mr. Mangan left out before at the end. I was really hoping you were sincere, but my original feeling that city workers should not be elected officials was right on point. And the reason being is that anyone who's an elected official who has, in this committee or in the city council, that takes votes is that vulnerable to the man in the corner office. Because he calls the shots, he gives the money, he takes the money away. And if you look at the public record request I opened up, it was for the Citizen Foundation, which is funded most from the city, from the casino. It was not targeted at any one group. It was targeted to make a point that if you're an elected official on a board or anywhere in the city, you're vulnerable to the pressure of the man in the corner office. That's plain and simple. And the point I was making wasn't directed towards your daughter or the community, the clubs or anything in that building. It had to do with how vulnerable you people are, no matter who you are, because if you want a job, you need him. If you need money, you need him. You need space, you need him. That's the point. And to tell you the truth, I think I take offense that you accused me of something that wasn't true, because what I find surprising was that in your response to me, nowhere, "Good morning, Paula Sterite. Paula, I'm very disappointed in you. You say the stuff you just said is very sad. You have never mentioned your daughter, never mentioned the club. You have no clue what is going on behind the scenes. Some people put on a good face in public, but are very vicious when no one is watching. So who are you talking about?" So where was the concern about your daughter?
You can only make comments. You can't ask questions.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm talking to him.
You cannot ask questions.
I know. Well, I can say anything I want.
Listen,
He attacked me. I can say anything I want.
Mr. Reedy, I apologize for that. Please direct it towards me.
I was directing to you.
All right, now.
And then, where was I? So, in closing, I'd like to share two quotes. The first by Ralph Waldo Emerson as we celebrate Pride Month. "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." And the second by Malcolm X, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." Thank you.
Next person is John Popolo. John.
Good evening. I'd just like to say that it looks like from trying to do the right thing for the children as a committee and going back the past few weeks, it seems that the animus in this room is not setting a good example for the children. Raising your voice at 2 weeks ago's meeting, raising your voice at this meeting, going after someone from the public, the animus towards her with Mr. Marcus.
Can you please refrain from using members' names?
We can use First Amendment rights. I can use people's names.
Mr. Mayor,
Excuse me,
I
Mr. Mayor.
apologize, Mr. Mayor. Under the new ruling, which came out a couple months ago, they are able to use people's names.
Got to stay up with the First Amendment. So it's like that, people trying to stop people from giving their opinion. First Amendment right. Paula sent you a note. She never mentioned anything about your children. Jason on the hot mic, we know what happened. I don't want to repeat it and use the language he used, but Mike, what was really sad is that you laughed on tape, on the video, you laughed at his actions. That's totally inappropriate. I guess my bottom line point here tonight is that improvement is needed. This animus you yelled at me tonight. You yelled at me when I was talking to Cardello.
Point of information, I'll interrupt you for that. The reason I yelled back is because I was speaking and of yourself and other members rudely interrupted me. I never interrupt anybody and try to whatever when they're talking. I was talking, saying my thing, because you didn't like what I had to say.
No.
You decided you were going to start raising your voice and start yelling back there. That's why I raised my voice.
But
Yes,
Mike,
maybe you see it different, but that's fine.
You're screaming across the aisle. You're yelling at Barrios last week. You're screaming at Paula. You're screaming at us.
First of all, point of information, it's not Barrios, it's Barrows.
Yeah, so you're screaming at him too. You were yelling with Jeannie. You did a lot of yelling at the last meeting. I think you got to reel it in, Mike. If the heat's getting too much for you in the kitchen in the past couple of months, maybe you got to get out. That's it for me tonight.
Thank you. Anybody else that would like to speak? Seeing none, could we have a motion to close public participation?
Make a motion to close public participation.
We have a motion by Ms. Sani, seconded by Ms. Lambert to close public participation. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Superintendent, the next item, please.
Roman numeral 5 is the report of the student representative.
Good evening. Very short report today. Classes officially ended June 13th and finals carried out throughout that week and finished up today. But before the year ended, the new Student Advisory Board had been selected in a school-wide election. I wish them the best luck and everyone a great summer.
Before I acknowledge you, Ms. Lambert, I just want to say, Ms. Avila, thank you for everything. We won't meet again until, unless we have a special meeting, we won't be meeting again until the end of August. And I'm sure you'll be down in Connecticut at that point, whatever, but I just want to wish you the best of luck, and it was an honor and privilege having you up here for this past year. Ms. Lambert?
Thank you, and I did just want to wish the same to Ms. Avalar. It is not easy to sit up here every, 2 nights a month. Our meetings are long, and there's preparation. You always come prepared and with the student voice in mind, and we appreciate the time that you've given us and the perspective you've given us throughout the year, and wish you the best of luck in your future. So thank you so much.
Mr. Marcus, do you want to speak on this?
Thank her for the great job she's done, and we got to know her, and she's part of our younger family coming up. So thank you, Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Marcus. Thank you. Okay, make a motion, His Honor the Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to congratulate you on wanting to serve your students on the school committee, and I want to wish you good luck in college and have a great 4 years. All right.
We have a motion. Ms. Cardello.
You have been so impressive. Every week, all of your reports, your poise, everything you've done is exemplary. I am very proud to know you, very proud to have you serve with us, and so proud of your accomplishments, and wish you all the best at college. You're welcome.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to lay this, to accept the student representative's report and place it on file.
Moved.
We have a motion by Ms. Lambert, seconded by Ms. Sani, to accept the student representative's report and place it on file. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Superintendent, the next item, please.
Mike.
Before you read that, I'm sorry, Madam Superintendent. Mr. Marcus, do you rise on what?
I like a point of personal privilege.
Mr. Marcus, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This is about 2 weeks ago that what happened in here, and it was really disturbing. When I came up to come into the library, I was accosted by this gentleman. I'm not going to bring up names, and he started with me about certain things and the way I was voting. He started every word, F you and F this, F that. He said, you better watch out for yourself. Then he started up about, I'm in the unions. He said, well, I'm friendly with the unions. I'll get them. So, have a way here of, just people come in and they talk, but sometimes it gets a little toxic like it did that day. And if I'm making a recommendation that we have a policeman here all the time. It's this thing got, I cut this short, a lot of the things I said. There was a witness to this whole thing, too.
Mr. Marcus, I will put that request forward if we can, certainly, I'll speak with the mayor after this meeting's over, and if they have the resources to certainly do it, I certainly have no issue with that, and get back to you on that.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me say that.
Ms. Christiani, you rise for
Mr. Chairman, just had a point of
information.
inquiry.
All right.
The point of inquiry being is if we were to invite a police officer or ask that a police officer be here every meeting, I'm not sure we need that. And so that's my point of inquiry. Are we, because this, and obviously I'm well aware of the situation that you presented that was nipped, thankfully it was nipped in the bud and it was addressed immediately with some quick police action. But I mean, every single meeting.
Madam, excuse me, Ms. Cristiano, so what I would do is that, first of all, I would talk to them. One, do they have the resources to be able to do it? And if they do, then I guess our next meeting, which would be the end of August, the end of the last Monday in August, what I would do is probably put some type of thing on the calendar, and at that point, asking that, if the mayor says that we have the resources, that I would take it to a vote at the end of our next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Yep. The next item.
John available. John available.
Thank you. So Roman numeral 6 is the report of the superintendent, and I'll start with the superintendent's update. Before I begin, I did want to thank Ms. Riley Avalar for her commitment as the student representative this past year. She has served with distinction throughout this school year and has done an exemplary job representing herself, her peers, and our overall school system. We will miss her next year as she continues her positive contributions on the college campus. I also want to quickly let you know that Everett High School has elected the members of its 2023-2024 Student Advisory Council, and our student representative for next school year is Salvatore Di Domenico, who is here with us tonight. He will follow in the footsteps of Riley Avalar. We look forward to introducing the entire Student Advisory Council and welcoming Mr. Di Domenico to the Student Reps Chair at our August meeting. So as we begin the last superintendent's update of the school year, we did have a fantastic end of school year, and I'm excited to share with you some of the high notes upon which we ended. I'm going to start by highlighting one teacher and one student, and again, these are just some examples of the many accomplishments by our amazing teachers and students throughout the school year. So a big shout out to Madeline English 7th grader Savannah Donnelly, who's here with us today, and her mother Sandra. They reached out to us a couple of weeks ago to sing the praises of teacher Nelda O'Neill and the Wilson Reading Program. Under Miss O'Neill's guidance and through Wilson's structured literacy approach to reading and writing, Savannah made huge strides this school year. The Donnellys were so grateful that they wanted to formally recognize Mrs. O'Neill with a well-deserved certificate of appreciation. The ceremony took place on Friday, June 16th, and it was certainly a welcomed addition to the end-of-year festivities we held throughout the district over the last couple of weeks. My sincerest thanks to the Donnellys for publicly praising one of our teachers. It doesn't often happen that they get that recognition directly and in such a public way, so I really thank you for making sure that that happened. Savannah's story is an important one for us to remember. The learning loss wrought by COVID-19 is profound and has definitely received a lot of attention, but a spotlight should also be shined on the immense progress students can make in one school year. And substantial gains are being made each and every day, and Savannah is proof of that. So thank you for being here tonight. A big congratulations to Parlin School student Angela Landaverde Portillo. The fourth grader received the Young Hero Award from State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski and Everett Fire Deputy Chief Will Hurley during a special ceremony held on June 13th at the Parlin. Angela's mother and sister attended the ceremony, as did all of her classmates. Angela received the award for calling 911 to report a fire on the back porch of her neighbor's house. She calmly and clearly informed the dispatcher of what was happening, and firefighters quickly responded. She informed the tenants in the neighboring house of what was happening, and she made sure that everyone in her house, including her dog, safely evacuated. Simply, Angela helped prevent a serious situation from turning into something more dire. Thanks to the Everett Fire Department, Fire Marshal Ostrowski, and the Parlin team for helping make this a day Angela will never forget. Last week, we had many moving on ceremonies, or the last 2 weeks, from our kindergarten classes to our 5th grade class at the Webster. The Cavarian, Lafayette, Madeline English, Parlin, and Whittier schools all hosted their 8th grade moving on ceremonies, all of which were held outside. Thanks to our custodial staff for setting up, and to all our staff members who planned these wonderful events. From hanging decorations to designing and printing programs, a lot of work goes into these celebrations, and I know they are very much appreciated by our students and their families. It's also a great time to applaud our school leaders, whose leadership and skills and command of their schools is on full display during the moving on ceremonies. And above all, my congratulations and best wishes to the students as they transition to the next phase of their educational journeys. It gives me immense joy and satisfaction to announce that 23 students received an Everett High School diploma through the completion of our Day 6 alternative program. First and foremost, congratulations to the students for taking advantage of this program and earning their high school diploma. Thanks to re-engagement specialist Sarah Paiva-Simea and the Day 6 team for supporting these students and expanding this critical program. I can say without hesitancy that this is one of the very best initiatives we have undertaken since I became superintendent. It is certainly a source of pride. Some facts about the Day 6 class of 2023. 10 of the 23 grads had dropped out of Everett High School and were successfully reconnected to EHS and their education. 13 students were at high risk of dropping out, and the Day 6 schedule gave them the chance to stay on course and graduate. The program met on Mondays from 5 to 7 and Saturdays from 9 to 11. The program was led by 3 teachers, a guidance counselor, and a coordinator. 9 students enrolled in the program to successfully pass the MCAS requirement needed to graduate from high school and receive the MCAS diploma. 17 of the students proudly participated in Everett High School's class of 23 graduation exercises inside Veterans Memorial Stadium. Last year, we did have a separate Day 6 graduation ceremony, which many of you remember and have asked about. But according to Ms. Paiva, given the option, the students preferred to be with the entire class of 23 on June 3rd. In addition, EHS has a second alternative program called Gateway to College, which enables students to attend Bunker Hill Community College and take college-level courses. We had 7 Gateway grads this year, lifting the total numbers of students who received diplomas through alternative programming to 30. Ms. Paiva calls these students her superstars, and I agree. There are countless reasons why someone might be forced to drop out of high school, many of them serious or traumatic, but that doesn't mean that our students do not recognize the value of education and the essential value of a high school diploma and continue to strive for many years after. What they need naturally is opportunity and support, and the Day 6 program provides both of those things. In the latest example of the support we offer to staff members who want or need to pass the MTEL test required for a teaching license, we are offering vouchers for free test prep courses. Through a partnership with Prep Forward, EPS staff can take free online classes in preparation for a variety of MTEL subject tests and the communications and literacy exam. Prep Forward's MTEL prep courses have been utilized by the Boston Public Schools, Teach for America, Wheaton College, Elms College, DESE, and UMass Boston. Interested EPS staff members should contact Gianna Martin to secure a voucher. We released our 2023-2024 professional development catalog last week. The digital brochure, which was emailed to all of our staff members, includes descriptions of the offerings, many of which were developed by and will be taught by EPS educators. The selections center around a wide range of topics. Among our educators who are leading sessions include Jackie Taglieri, Courtney Jackson, Rachel Miller, and Jennifer Cavalieri, to mention just a few. Teachers can easily enroll in the sessions using the online tool TeachPoint. Hard copies of the PD catalog will be available in August for orientation and back-to-school programming. Thank you to our Director of Remote Learning and Instruction, Ann Auger, and the entire planning team for putting together our latest PD courses. Congratulations to the second cohort of EPS educators who earned their CAGS certification through our partnership with Salem State University. CAGS, or the Certificate of Advanced Studies, Graduate Studies, is a program for aspiring principals. Salem State's CAGS program supports candidates with the requirements and tasks needed to earn principal and assistant principal licensure in Massachusetts. The EPS Salem State partnership allows our staff to complete their CAGS training at a greatly reduced cost. We carefully review our applicants, and successful candidates are chosen for their dedication to improving systems and providing equitable and inclusive opportunities for our students. This year's cohort included Alessandra Visconti, Carmen Cuellar, Maggie DePlazzi, Rachel Holt, Colby Massa, Jeff Pomponi, Stephanie Rizzo, and Ryan Rowlinson. It is my belief that the district should support and develop the ambitions of our staff members, and the district has made huge strides in this area. We hope to maintain or expand all of our efforts in the future. Congratulations to the aforementioned educators. They are a credit to the EPS and to our profession. We held a fun and successful STEM and Family Literacy Night on Thursday, June 8th. The district-wide event for K-8 students was planned by ELA and STEM directors and was hosted by the Cavarian School. Critical support was also provided by our library director, a planning team consisting of EPS teachers and our custodial crew. Approximately 250 students attended the festivities, which included math, science, and literacy activities, as well as storytelling. All of the students received a summer learning bag. In addition, we had a burrito food truck and Richie's slush for everyone to enjoy. And representatives from the Everett Public Libraries were on hand to help residents secure library cards. To all of our students watching tonight, our summer learning page is on the homepage of the EPS website and is being shared by our teachers and school leaders. It is filled with great appropriate reading suggestions and activities curated by our own educators. Special thanks to Whittier School Librarian Ashley Kempkes for her help in compiling the reading brochures, and additional thanks to her for help in organizing the Pride Month page on the EPS website. Before moving on, I do want to quickly promote 4 of our summer programs that still have openings. Our Career Exploration Day is set for Thursday, June 22nd here at Everett High School. The full-day program runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and includes breakfast and lunch. It is designed to give rising 6th, 7th, and 8th graders the chance to learn about career and technical education programs and educational pathways. The Summer Bridge program offers incoming Everett High School freshmen 2 week-long sessions to choose from. The first is from July 10th through the 14th, while the second is from July 17th through the 21st. Students will meet daily from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. For the hundreds of musicians among our student body, we are holding a summer music camp from July 10th through the 28th at Everett High School. The camp, open to rising 7th through 12th graders, will be held daily from 8 to 12. Students of all skill levels are encouraged to attend. And the final program I want to highlight is our summer robotics program for students entering grades 6 through 9. The session will run from July 31st through August 5th from 8 to 1 p.m. at EHS, and it includes breakfast and lunch. Direct links to these 4 opportunities can be found on our website under News and Announcements, where you can learn more and easily register your student. In closing, I want to wish everyone a safe and enjoyable summer. Regardless of your individual plans, it is my sincerest hope that the next 2+ months brings you happiness and contentment. Thank you to all of our staff members for a successful school year, and thanks in advance to the countless staff members who will lead our academic and enrichment programming this summer. I also want to wish a happy retirement to the 5 EPS educators whose distinguished careers came to their conclusion at the end of the school year: Nadine Bogosian, Denise Egan, Dorothy Mail, Linda Maloney, and John McCarthy. Thanks for your service to our students and our profession. To our students, I hope To our students, I hope and trust you will make the most of your summer, from spending time with your friends and loved ones to pursuing personal growth and development. And a salute to our parents and caregivers. As I made my way from event to event over this past month, ending with last week's moving on ceremonies, I was reminded over and over again that you should take a bow. You have great kids.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. We have a motion to accept the superintendent's report and place it on file.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Sani, seconded by Ms. Cristiano, to take the superintendent's report and place it on file. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Superintendent, the next item, please.
Item number 2 is presentation by DESE of our EPS Comprehensive District Review Report. This past school year, in addition to the operational audit conducted by Evergreen, we did undergo a comprehensive review by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. This review, which is required by law, focuses on system quality, is evidence-based, and is based on DESE's district improvement efforts, district standards, and district indicators. So similar to an evaluation of an educator, this is DESE's evaluation of our school district. As you only just received the final report with data, findings, and recommendations today, I'm respectfully requesting that we lay this on the table or postpone to the end of the summer when everyone has had an opportunity to review.
Make a motion to lay it over?
We have a motion by Ms. Sani, seconded by Mayor Di Maria, to lay this over to our next meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Superintendent, the next item.
Great, thank you so much, and DESE will be joining us to present those findings. Item number 3 is to request approval of the updated Managerial Conditions of Employment. Earlier today, we sent to all of you the updated personnel manual for non-union employees. The changes and additions to the document are highlighted in yellow. It includes small changes such as the addition of Juneteenth as a holiday and substantial additions like our safety procedures. The previous Managerial Conditions of Employees were last improved by this committee in January of 2021, but this version demonstrates an improvement in that it includes all in one place all of our mandated policies that you've already approved, such as the drug-free workplace, Title IX, policies and information lived in different places. So now they're all in one place. Thank you to Assistant Superintendent of Finance Anu Jayanth and her team for leading this effort to enhance this document. With your approval, we do look forward to sharing this with our employees next school year. This is not a matter of urgency, as the previous version has been approved and stands, so I was hoping again to lay this on the table and take it up at the end of the summer when everyone has had an opportunity to review and provide feedback.
Second.
We have a motion by Mayor Di Maria, seconded by Ms. Lambert, to lay this over table to the next meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Superintendent?
Item number 4 is to request approval to rent at no charge the Madeline English School to the Everett Police Department on Sunday, July 16th, 2023, and Sunday, August 20th, 2023. The Everett Police Patrolmen's Association is hosting cookouts for families and friends on Sunday, July 16th, and Sunday, August 20th on the field adjacent to the English School. These will be all-day events from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and organizers are asking for access to the school's restrooms. I would ask for your approval of this request and to waive any potential rental and custodial fees.
Move for favorable action.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Lambert, seconded by Ms. Cristiano for favorable action. Please call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor Di Maria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0, you are passed. Madam Superintendent, the next item, please.
Item number 5 is to request approval for the curriculum and instruction team to recycle or dispose of old and outdated textbooks and learning materials. Your packets include a very long and expansive list of materials that our teachers and curriculum directors want to dispose of as we prepare for the next school year. These items are old and out of date with publication dates going back to the early 2000s and 1990s. As you can see, this current list includes thousands of books, titles, guides, reference materials, etc. It will take a brief but concerted effort to remove them from our shelves. So as recommended by the operational audit from Evergreen, we have created paid opportunities for staff members to take part in clean-out days at all of our schools this summer. Sorry.
Move for favorable action.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Lambert, seconded by Ms. Cristiano for favorable action. I'll do a roll call vote on this. Mayor Di Maria?
Was it with this packet, did we get the information of the, was it? It was? I don't see it.
It was in there.
It was in the packet.
It was? Thank you.
This?
I see, yeah, I got a copy now. Does this have to be done tonight?
No, not necessarily. Well, depending on when our next meeting is, we had planned the paid opportunities to happen over the summer for teachers to help support us with this. So depending on when our next meeting is, it may then be difficult for more. We had planned to do it this summer, ideally. But obviously, if we need to wait, we can wait.
Can you just give me 1 minute? Thanks. I see that you're getting rid of reading the Bible as literature. Is that the, was that a part of your curriculum, reading the Bible in the public school system before?
I actually don't know, but I don't know if we have those up here. So we have a criterion for how we decide. There's a sort of a checklist that the library director and other teachers go through to determine if a text is something that we should keep or not. We could always, if that is something that you would like to draw attention to or to take out, we could certainly dispose of all the other materials and keep those. I don't know that it's something that's actually taught as part of our curriculum.
Is it something in the library?
I actually don't know, I'm sorry.
Hey, can we just leave that in for now? Is that okay? I think I'm good with the rest of it.
Okay, with the exclusion of the one, was it one book?
Reading the Bible as literature.
With the exclusion of that book, make a motion, as was seconded, to dispose of the rest of the books. Roll call vote, Mr. O'Connor.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor Di Maria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0, you've disposed of all the books except for the one mentioned by Mayor Di Maria. Madam Superintendent, the next item, please.
Thank you. Roman numeral 6 is to request approval to rent space to the City of Everett to hold a one-day training session for youth who are participating in the summer employment program. With your approval, we will rent out one of our school auditoriums or cafeterias to the city for a one-day training session for participants in Everett's summer job programs. The training will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and will be held sometime between the dates of June 26th and June 30th. If approved, we'll work with the city to find the best possible space and date for this event.
Favorable action.
We have a motion by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Mayor Di Maria for favorable action. A roll call vote. Mr. O'Connor, please.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor Di Maria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0, you have passed. Madam Superintendent, please read the next item.
Roman numeral 7 is to request approval to renew the Everett Public Schools Student Athletic and Catastrophic Accident Insurance. With your approval, we will renew this insurance for the next school year. There are no changes to the premiums or benefits, and we'll continue to work with the same insurance company.
Favorable action on the request.
We have a motion by Ms. Sanity, second by Ms. Cristiano for favorable action. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor Di Maria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0, you have passed. Next item, Madam Superintendent.
Roman numeral 7 is items submitted by school committee members. Item number 1 is request that the school committee cancel its regular meeting scheduled for Monday, July 17, 2023, and this was submitted by Chair Mangan.
Favorable action on the order.
Before, Ms. Sani, before we vote on this, I just want to let people know that if we do have for some need, for whatever, whether we need to pass something or something comes up, I will certainly entertain calling a special meeting at any time if we needed to. So we have a motion by Ms. Sani, seconded by Ms. Cadillo for favorable action. Mr. Clerk, please call
On the motion?
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Do we have 2 meetings in the month of July?
No.
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 So we're canceling the one meeting. And are we meeting in August?
The end of August. But as need be, because right now we have nothing on our agenda. Now, if for some reason, whether it's July...
No, it's fine. I'm just
yeah, I just want to
I'm just
explain,
asking.
I'm saying for...
So July 17th and the meeting in August is what? When?
the end of August, the
End of August.
28th, I think it was, Madam Superintendent.
Okay. Thank you. That's
You're
all.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor DiMaria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0, you have passed, Madam Superintendent. The next item, please.
Yes, thank you. Item number 2 is to request to fly the American flag at the Administration Building at 121 Vine Street, and this was submitted by Chair Mangan.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. It was mentioned, whatever it was, I believe a public comment about the flagpole. Well, from the reason I put this on, so everybody knows, there was a veteran, I won't mention the veteran's name, that lives over close to the Administration Building, unbeknownst to me, and I don't know how long it's been. There hasn't been an American flag flying in on that pole. I did contact, I talked with, I think it was you, Madam Superintendent, and she just said that what happened was is that it was broken, so they were in the process of trying to get it fixed. That's why and I believe an RFP or something has been put up. Oh, it's fixed now. Thank you very much for that. And that was the reason why the flag wasn't flying. So I'm certainly, shortly, the flag will be back up there again. So I just want to let that gentleman at home that asked me to address this, that has been taken care of. So we just
Accept the communication and place on file, Mr. Chairman.
We have a second? You have a motion by Mayor DiMaria, seconded by Ms. Cardello to place the communication and place it on file. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman?
I'm sorry, Ms. Cardello?
Thank you. I know we've already discussed and referred this, item number 3, but I have a question, and I keep thinking about it.
Before
Why do
you
we
do
need-
that, before we address it all, you would have to reconsider it.
Oh, okay, yes, I would.
You need a motion and a second.
Move to reconsider item number 3 under Part 7, item number 3.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Cardello, seconded by Ms. Sani to reconsider item number 3. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Cardello, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
The mic's yours.
Oh, Ms. Lambert just left, and I wanted to ask the question. I'm not sure why we need it as a resolution and not just a letter.
Just to address that, Ms. Cardello, I'll use as an example. And it happens more at the city council than it happens here. So let's just say this for information purposes, a piece comes up to the council sponsors, okay? They have discussion. At the end of that piece, they say, we want to refer it to the mayor's office, we want to refer it to the city solicitor for an answer, or for whatever reason. That's done on a regular basis all the time. That's the only thing I was trying to do here, is basically based on a discussion, what was said and what I had asked, to actually put it in a form of a resolution. It was just asked that we do that, and that some type of communication be drawn up by Mr. O'Connor to send it to, that's all I was asking. That stuff happens at the city council meetings all the time.
Thank you. And I totally understand all that. My question that was rolling around in my head, and my concern was, since I knew we were probably not going to have a meeting in July and possibly not have one until right before we go back to school, too much time would elapse. I would like to get this communication out there before we lose out on any monies. So that's why I wanted to talk about this and get it straight in my head. I didn't want to make a mistake on that or look like I was doing something crazy. Why do we need a resolution? So we actually don't. Okay, so then in that case, since we've reconsidered the item and it's back before us, then...
Make the motion to...
Do you want to do the motion?
I'll make the motion to refer to the mayor, to the governor's office, the senator, and the state delegate, but to superintendent to report this communication that they not to remove any grants that we request not to.
Not to withhold
any grants for the program.
Take any grants.
Motion by Ms. Sani and seconded by Ms. Cardello to send it to the mentioned the superintendent, the mayor's office, the state delegation, and the governor's office, asking them to not cut any type of funding or resources provided to that, to the Ellie Sock Center at Pope John. Mr. O'Connor, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor DiMaria.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 6-0.
6-0, you have passed that motion.
It was just a joke.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. The next item, please.
Yes, seeing no items under Roman numeral 8, we'll move on to Roman numeral 9, which is bills and payroll.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Cristiano.
I'd like to submit bills and payroll in the amount of $1,747,786.13.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Mayor Di Maria, to submit bills and payroll in the amount of $1,774,786.13. Mr. O'Connor, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor DiMaria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Cristiano.
I'd like to pay bills and payroll in the amount of $1,747,786.13.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Mayor Di Maria, to pay bills and payroll in the amount of $1,774,786.13. Mr. O'Connor, please call the roll.
Ms. Cardello.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mayor DiMaria.
Yes.
Ms. Lambert.
Yes.
Mr. Marcus.
Yes.
Ms. Sarni.
Yes.
Chairman Mangan.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
7-0, you have paid bills and payroll on that amount.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Lambert, seconded by Mayor Di Maria for adjournment. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We have adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Excellent.